Hello world. Right. George Orwell, 1984. Yeah, it takes me back to an ad campaign that Apple ran in the 80s against IBM. Big Blue, as they called it. And, we don't have the Big Blue. We have big pharmaceutical companies that have been punting and touting their wares and pushing it onto people under the false pretenses of healing and protecting them, where in actual fact there was no healing or protection. All it's done is depleted humanity's immune systems to such a degree that a virus like this coronavirus is causing death. And for the percentages of people that are actually not surviving the virus, doesn't justify the economic stress and strain that the entire planet is under. There are countries that are not doing the lockdown and what have you, and looking at the statistics and things. Who are the people that are dying? It's those that are compromised, medically compromised. They already have an underlying morbidity. They have pre-existing conditions like pneumonia or bronchitis or some other disease, okay, that's being treated by pharmaceuticals. And at the end of the day, I personally cannot see how any government can justify the enormous economic pressure that has been brought to bear on each and every person on the planet because of fear. They have made us fearful of living, and they are dictating how we should live our lives. Now, call it what you may. I mean, people are saying the Chinese use it for population control and all this kind of stuff. Cast your mind back to biblical times, where God put plagues on the planet, took away the firstborn and all this kind of groovy stuff. It's been happening for centuries. And us as humans, we think that we can control this. We can't. We have to allow things to take their course, thin out the herd. And look, you might say it's crash. I'm not being crass. What it is the reality. The reality is so many are suffering because of so few. If people are ill, isolate them. If people are old, keep them isolated. If people have a problem with their health, isolate them. Why can't the people that are healthy and able to withstand this virus, because they haven't been using chemicals from the pharmaceutical companies? It's beyond my, I don't know, it just blows my head off. That people are starving, I mean literally starving, because they can't work. They have no income. The promise of government to help, there is none. There are homeless people living on the street, and government officials, police, military, whoever, are going around beating them up because they're sleeping on the streets. Where else must they go? Socio-economic problems are one thing. Health problems are another thing. But to lump us all into this fear of living because a few don't have the ability to withstand what is happening. I don't know. Hey, when's it going to end? Because the world has gone mad. Presidents are talking, and they're basing whatever they're talking about on statistics, and the statistics are flawed. They are erroneous in assumption, And more people are going to die, not from the virus, but from the socio-economic problems that are arising from this lockdown. People are going to get desperate. They are going to start drawing lines in the sand. And when that starts happening, there is going to be a revolution. And what's going to happen? They're going to shoot everybody, so kill more people. No, it's insanity, man. Absolute insanity. I've been isolated now since the beginning of COVID-19, Corona, whatever you want to call it. And I took a walk out to the shops. In the shops, there are very few people. The produce on sale is astronomically high. And I'm eating meat that I would cook for my dog. And I'm paying the price I would have paid for a decent piece of meat. Now, I have no work. There is no funds. What am I going to do? You know, am I going to revert to crime? I'm not going to go and steal money. I'm going to go and steal food. You know, I'm going to go and look for a farm where I can go and harvest some meat or vegetables or something. And that's going to make me a criminal. I'm a criminal already because I'm a smoker. You know, I'm a criminal because I smoke cigarettes. But the sale of those cigarettes have kept businesses and governments going for how long? But now it's criminal. No, I don't get it. Government officials are not losing money. They're still getting paid from our taxes that we've paid. It's not looking after the poor. It's not looking after the sick. It's not looking after anybody. It's got to end soon, eh? If it doesn't end soon, there's going to be a big uprising. And everyone's going to go, oh, how did this happen? Well, it happened because why? Listening to big business and pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceuticals, man. That's the biggest problem. You know, living on herbal remedies and things that nature give us, that would have prevented what's happened because our bodies would have been strong enough to deal with it. I'm sad, particularly sad today, because of the loss of life. The loss of life because of ignorance. Ignorance has been taught to us. Taught to us by the pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, GMO, yeah, another one. It's all been on the cards for a long time. But because money talks, money, you know, there is no economy. Yet money talks. It's all about the money. And who controls the money? Very few. And those few that are controlling the money, they're determining what happens to the rest of us. And if they think that I'm going to go and get a vaccination so that I can carry on living, no. That's madness. Absolute madness.